on here.
What up, everybody? What up? What up? What up? Get this party jumping. There we go. All right. So we're good to go.
We are good to go everywhere.
All systems are go, he says. Hmm. What up, everybody? Welcome to You Control You podcast. You already know how we do. Mark Shaw Evans. And we start every podcast off with what I'm grateful for. As always, I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful for just another great opportunity to be here, to be alive. Mm, I'm grateful for the power of sleep because it definitely functions better, or I function better when I'm on it. And I'm grateful for, man, I'm just grateful for everything. I had a beautiful weekend. My son got to take photos and edit photos, and so that's his
You
new
sent me a Facebook invite for this new Facebook page.
man. He's
So
he's
what's going on, bro? Break it
he's
down for me.
he's starting to build something. Like he's starting to he was like, "This is Plan B." I'm like, "Nope, there is no Plan B. This is just something you enjoy." I'm
Oh,
like,
distract from Plan A.
"Yeah." I'm like, "Plan A is still there. There is no Plan B. But while you're while you have time, you can work on this, and that's not Plan B. It's just something else you're doing. If you want to make this Plan A, we can make this Plan A. But um, nothing. He's been talking about passion in photography, and his mom bought him a camera, and we spent um, she got him a camera for Christmas, and then we matched it with um, tons of like basically tutorial videos
Mm.
that we paid for. Like they're basically online classes
Yeah.
to take so he can learn how to edit, take photos, do things. And like what's cool is he actually watched some of the videos and watched and took the classes, and he, without anybody telling him, took his own notes.
Mm.
So like,
He is serious.
yeah. And then he one of my students is gearing up for a black sash test, and she's been training with me and Abby. And she asked Isaiah if he would come in on Saturday and take photos, and so he did. And then he did the edits himself and sent it over to her, and she used them for her invitation to send out to people.
Oh.
So it's like it's dope. And now other people want him to take photos and videos or whatnot. Like Bree wants him to take some photos, so he's gonna get some work in. And I told him not like don't even worry about charging people right now because you need to build that portfolio. But then he got his Instagram tighter, and I'm like, we're not posting anything until we have like enough content where you can just keep smacking them over the head with it. And so it's like, let's get our content up. Like let's get it all together, and then we can start scheduling it out. Do not post anything. We just get everything ready. And so nah, he's been enjoying it. And so it's fun watching him do his own thing. And it's fun watching him have a passion for something and chase it down. And it like he's pretty sure when he goes to college, he wants to get a communication arts degree or arts like, and like that degree doesn't necessarily lead to the big paying jobs. Like Abby has that degree and she's an admin for the DOT. It's a good, okay paying job. I think it's like now she's close to 70, if not over 70K. So it's not like it's horrible pay. It's just like, it is what it is. But I think because it'll allow him to pursue his photography passion. So I'm excited about it. Like it's cool. He's finally utilizing something that we got him, and he seems serious about it. And he's got some dope pics. He got some dope pics of people in the gym
Yeah.
over the weekend. Like it's really clean. So he's got an eye for the action shot.
Good.
He's doing a good job. It's just little things like he took a picture of the gym and he just tilted it too high. So he's got like a lot of the ceiling.
Yeah.
And so it's just like little things that he's gonna learn over time. So it's dope. And uh whenever he's in the gym, like I'll make sure he's got his camera and we just do photos. And so it's cool. is really cool. So I'm grateful for that, man. My kids are chasing down things that they have a passion for. My daughter with um eyelashes and laser and tattooing eyebrows and things like that, and wanting to get more into that, which is like the perfect job for her because she gets to talk to people, and she gets to talk to them for a little bit, send them on their way. Talk to them for a little bit, send them on their way. And so it's cool. And my son being a little bit more like his pops, uh, wants to keep to himself a little bit more. And so this job kind of fits that. So it's like they're both they're both me. So it's pretty dope. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. Of course, like always, let me know what you're grateful for. Um, Corey, we haven't done this in a while. What you grateful for over there, homie? Is your mic on?
No, no, I got to put my mic on. Headphones on.
Yeah.
Get it all right. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here we go. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for, obviously, I'm grateful for my family. Everything that I do is enabled by my family to have the opportunity to be able to do that. But I'm grateful, to be honest. I'm grateful to be in this space and working with um, creative people and folks that have great messages to get out to the world and things they want to share with folks. It's a unique position being in this podcast space where I get to observe how folks are influencing and making change in people's lives for the positive. And so, luckily I'm in a position where all the channels and the podcasts that I do are all people that are really trying to help
Mm,
and influence other folks in a positive way. And so I'm thankful to be in that space, especially with media where that's not always
yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed to be in this position.
Man, let's go. That's dope.
Yeah.
Man. So today's topic, men misunderstand their programming.
Oh,
And I think I touched on this a little bit last week when we were live. Um, and it's something that I seem that just seems to be the same message I'm talking to people about in different ways. And men or women. And I've just been trying to get them to just accept who they are. Just be okay with who you are. Life becomes very simple when you just decide, cool, this is who I am. If there's any changes you want to make, feel free to make them, but accept who you are. Like, accept who you are right now. And so I think as people start to accept themselves and really come to terms with themselves, and still honest with themselves, life gets simpler. So to really break it down, let's picture this. You're in an argument. Your heart's starting to race, you're getting excited, or maybe you can't speak. That that mechanism, that didn't start today. That started before you even turned 7, right? And people don't realize that. People don't realize that our early childhood wires our responses. And I'm gonna mess this word up again. I can feel it already. The amygdala. No, I said it right. I got it right. No, what? What? I should have had confidence in myself. The amygdala learns what is a threat, right? It learns what a threat is. So these reactions aren't random. They're already programmed in our brain, right? And we learn this between the ages of basically 2 and 7. You see a lot of it, like that core programming that we have kind of finishes off between 5 and 7, right? It really depends on our childhood. That's why it's so important for parents to understand this so that that anger or the shutdown and that ego. The thing is, everybody looks at it and they're kind of shameful for it when it comes out. They and it's weird because not everybody's shame looks the same. Um, it can come out and someone can feel shameful and it causes them to get even more defensive and defend their actions. It can get them to shut down and just withdraw. Um, Definitely anger, like I said. What we need to realize is that that's not really a weakness, right? The the what's happening is more protection, right? What we have to then come to terms with is that this is our protection mechanism. It's helping protect us. We have to learn what action we should take off of this, because the problem is it could show up at the wrong time and you're not reacting to now, you're reacting from the past, right? Your aka your triggers, your landmines, your explosives in your head, that either something that you seen, something that you did, or something that someone else did or said now is going boom and it's triggering you, right? And it that side of you comes out as a protection mechanism. Now, I've talked about this on a few different podcasts, especially with myself. And when it comes out, then a lot of times we don't have control over it, right? It comes out, you say something messed up, you do something messed up, and now you got to come back and apologize. And then you feel bad about it and you feel shame about it and you feel all these weird emotions about it. And you don't get any closer to accepting who you actually are, which sucks, which makes it worse long term because it keeps us from growing. It keeps us from getting better. It keeps us from becoming the person we're supposed to become. The the idea behind it is that you don't want to erase it and you don't want to fight it. You want to become aware of that monster that's inside you. The Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the Incredible Hulk, the Dr. Banner, the Corey and the Dash Dub, the Mark and the Shah. And the list goes on, right? When I am a big advocate of naming it, and it's something I've been talking about with my fighters, because when they get upset, when they get mad, when they start taking it personal that they're losing or they think they're losing, that's their ego coming out to protect them. And the problem is that they're not using that energy the correct way, right? I don't like getting hit. I don't like getting kicked. I don't like taking shots. The difference is that I've accepted that's what's going to happen. And before I step in there, Shah's already playing the game. So it gives me a level of protection where I may not feel it the same way. I may not get tired the same way. Mm, and it allows me to zone in and see it clearly. And to take it a step further, Kobe didn't even have he didn't have it the same way until he went through all his lawsuit stuff. And they gave it a name and they named it the Black Mamba. And it allowed him to become deadlier, right? It allowed him to focus all that energy and focus all that anger and focus all that into something. And then it gave him space to learn how to control it. So my big thing is like, name it, right? I don't know if people I don't know if people talk about this enough, right? And it's funny because I kind of talked about this with my therapist, and her mind was blown. She was because she was like, I've never thought about it like that. She was like, that's crazy. That's crazy in a good way. She was like, this is dope, essentially, because it gives you the space to really have a full conversation with yourself, right? It allows you the space to kind of get comfortable with who you are. Why not be comfortable with that side of you? Why not accept it? Right? Why not become decide that this is who you really are? Because you can't you can't change anything, right? The science backs that up. When when I was doing some research on this, I started discovering Sarah McKay, Dr. Sarah McKay, and Dr. Bruce Perry. Now, Dr. Sarah McKay talks about it more from a female aspect, right? And how the brain is designed in girls and how it affects everything else. Now, it's not that far apart from men, but men have less chemicals to deal with, right? We don't get our periods. We don't go through the cycle the way women do. We don't go through those same things. And Bruce Perry talks about neuroscience overall, right? And so our early childhood phase, 2 to 7, is our where our emotional wiring really begins, right? So repeated stress lowers our threshold. So then we start to detect things that other people wouldn't. We have learned patterns that run automatically, right? And it's a different way to think about things. And so, as I said, our anger, our shutdown, our ego, those are all protection. That's not a flaw that we have. It's our magic shield. I had this talk with a student of mine. It was like an hour or two conversation at the gym, and all her life she's been told that she has to change, right? She has to be something different because just because she's a skateboarder and she's kind of a punk girl and she does Muay Thai and a little more like rough around the edges. Yeah, and her sister, and it's funny, she's got a twin who is more ladylike, right? And I said, I bet you and your sister are very much alike. I bet you there's a ladylike side to you, just like there's another side to her. And she said, there's for sure another side to her. And I'm like, the ladylike side of you is there. You just have to accept that side of you as well as the side that gets really defensive. And you got to accept that monster in you because otherwise you're just reacting for no reason. And I told her, I'm like, just like I tell the fighters, like, think of your name. Like fighters have fight names, right? It's like you're basically becoming somebody different when you walk to that cage or when you walk to that ring. Iron Mike Tyson.
Kid Dynamite.
Yeah. That was his name. He had Kid Dynamite, and then he became Iron Mike, right? What was Floyd Mayweather before Money Mayweather? Man, I can't remember, but Floyd Mayweather was knocking folks out. People forget that he was knocking folks out but breaking his hand. And as he kept going, he became Money Mayweather. Well, then his boxing changed. He became defensive and a counter striker and didn't get touched, but he made a lot of money, right? Anderson the Spider Silva. That man can hit you from anywhere. John Bones Jones. Yeah, he had no problem hitting you with his bones for sure and breaking you. Like, and the list goes on. Like, it's like fighters unlocked this so long ago. Football players got nicknames. Basketball players got nicknames. The Black Cat, Michael Jordan. Yeah. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it allows you to go and do something that's incredible if you have control of it. So like it's basically a version of you that learned how to survive when you didn't know how to process what was happening, and you're catering to that. And when I talk about that, people think, "Oh my god, well I didn't go through that much trauma and I didn't go through all that." It's not about trauma in the way you think. What let like if we focus on Michael Jordan, that trigger for him was him not making the team. Like according to him, he had a pretty good childhood, right? Normal parents, like nothing bad happened to him. He didn't make the basketball team. Click. Oh, okay. Kobe not being not being that as athletic as other kids and getting made fun of because he was either the American kid in a foreign country or the quiet kid that spoke other languages in America, right? Click, click, click. But when the courtroom stuff happened, click, right? So it's not a problem that it exists. It's when it shows up. Like I said, it's snapping at the wrong time, freezing when you need to speak, overreacting to small things. You're not reacting to the moment, you're reacting from the past, right? And so if you don't accept that, if you don't come to terms with that, then you're basically saying the past is always defining my present day and it's going to like um mess you up in the future. So wait, D Boogie, is that his name? Can you talk about drug addict addiction healing? I mean, essentially I am, right? Because oh man, I talked about this yesterday with my fighters. So when you are obsessed with something, which I believe you have to be if you want to be great at it, when you become obsessed with the thing that you're attempting to do, whether it's fighting, being a CEO, being an artist, whatever it is, you're basically an addict. You're you can't tell me there's a difference between someone who's a drug addict and alcoholic and somebody obsessed about being the greatest they can be in their career. And this is what I mean. If you're obsessed, like I'm obsessed with being the greatest coach I can be, being the greatest gym owner I can be, being the greatest podcaster I could be. Now it seems like I can't do that all. For me, they all revolve around the same thing, helping others. So technically, I want to be the greatest I could be at helping others. And I just have different aspects of reaching people, right? So when I'm doing that, I don't I don't have much of a social life, what people would call a social life. I don't go out to the bars. I don't go out to the clubs. I don't hang out with people. And when I do get around people, I don't really know how to be around them, and they damn sure don't know how to be around me. And they don't understand my obsession with this. They don't understand that I'm willing to get up 7 days a week and go do what I got to do. Right? They don't understand why I would work on the holidays. Why I would gladly not take any days off. They don't understand that. They don't understand my addiction to work. Well, when you look at an alcoholic and a drug addict, they're obsessed with their drug of choice, alcohol, a drug, sex, whatever, money, right? And they people don't want to be around a drug addict or an alcoholic. Well, they don't want to be around an obsessive person that is just thinking about coaching all the time or playing a game or doing a podcast. They don't want to be around that person either because that person just wants to talk about that, right? And the issue with those other things is that they cause harm to your body, but not harm that you're getting like the pros don't outweigh the cons. I guess that's the best way to say it. Right? If you train to be a fighter, you can get hurt and get some brain damage for sure. In a lot of ways, the pros outweigh the cons if you're smart about training because you'll be in better shape, you'll eat correctly, you'll your body's just better, right? Your brain tends to be better as long as you're not taking repeated shots to the dome. So, and same thing with being an athlete, same thing with being whatever. Typically, the pros outweigh the cons where A drug addict, like the pros don't outweigh the cons because you're for sure shortening your life and you can't function the same way, if that makes sense. As far as healing from it, it's again accepting that's who you are. You're an obsessive person, or whoever, if you're not talking about you specifically, you got to understand you're an obsessive person, right? You need you need to hyper focus on something else, and you need to deal with the demons that are saying, do this. You have to find a different outlet, right? A different outlet to relieve the stress and the pain other than a drug. Because the thing is, a drug coats it and it hides it, but it doesn't allow you to dive deep into it, right? So it's all about facing your demons. And drugs and alcohol don't allow you to do that. They allow you to hide from it. And you can only hide for so long. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So back to what I was saying, like you can't change the core of you. And I got to bring the homie in. You know what I'm saying? Like you are what you are. You could try to change, but that's just the top layer. You are who you are, player. Jay-Z. Yeah, I know. I knew you like that. Nah. You are what you are who you are, player. You could change, but that's just the top layer, right? So what Jay-Z is saying is like your foundation's built. It's there. Whatever it is, it's there. That's who you are. Accept that. Accept that your foundation is there. That's interesting, Brooke. Let me touch on that, Brooke. Please don't go nowhere, Brooke. I want to touch on that. Um, so the foundation, right? The foundation is oh, Brooke, don't go nowhere. Um, it's understanding that we are who we are, right? Accept that. The the programming that we put over top of it is to help better manage our actions when it wants to come out. So if someone says something, instead of being triggered to the point where you now lash out, you now can take a deep breath and either not engage or fully or have a semi calm conversation with this person that doesn't allow you to lose control of self, right? Because you are what you are, but you're still responsible for what you do with it, right? So it's okay. Now I can't ignore this anymore. So Brooks said men are scary these days, while women are done with most of you all. I'm not going to acknowledge the second one because Jay-Z is dope. Um, Empathy, emotional intelligence, spiritual groundness, conscience. Why can't I say that word right now? Yeah, code of conduct is missing from society. Yeah, it's missing from society altogether. And I'm not going to speak on like I've tried to find this fine line to not speak on women because I'm not a woman, right? I have raised a woman, right? And she's is doing a pretty good job in life. Um but I'll keep it to men. I do believe men are messing up. And I'll go as far as um I'll, I'll go I'll go and say like we've talked about it where men need to be fathers regardless of the situation. Men need to be fathers because it starts there, right? Because what I'm talking about is like from the ages of 2 to 7 are so important in everybody's childhood. That sets our core foundation. So if a father's around, he can help navigate certain things with a son or daughter, right? And so that's so important to create empathy and emotional intelligence and spirit groundness and you know conscience and code of conduct. And Brooke, thank you for saying men are messing up, but it's not just men though, right? Because we do have women raising young men, right? We have women like Allison Armstrong. Like I just interviewed her. What did she say? I just put the clip out today. So go on YouTube, check it out. You Control You. Go check out that clip where she's talking about women bring out the worst in men sometimes. Men's biology is to provide and protect. But when we're hit with so much sexual energy, it puts us in a different mind frame, right? That doesn't mean that men should not be held accountable, right? Because we're still responsible for ourselves. But are we just going to let women off? Like everybody's responsible for themselves. And I think what happens in society is exactly what Brooke, what you're doing. Men are this, men are this, men are this, but are you holding women to the same accountability? Right? Because I take it like looking at your name, Brooke, I'm guessing you're a female. I'm guessing. Why are you speaking about men? Why aren't you focused on women? Right? Calling women out. Let us men call other men out. And if you don't want to deal with men that are like that, then don't give them any time of day. That's the other thing. Men only act according to how they're allowed to act. So if women say we had enough across the board and stop dealing with dudes that sell drugs, gang bang, that don't respect them, that don't treat them well, that don't stand up, men will act right. Am I wrong here? And then it's on men to help raise better men. Period. Because men can only raise men. Can women do a good job? Yeah, for sure. Plenty of single moms have raised dope men. But a man can only learn how to be a man from another man, just like a woman can only learn how to be a woman from another woman, or they learn it on their own through trials and tribulations. Right? And that's just life. That's facts right there. So we have to be, I mean, Brooke, you could say that's not true, but the science and the data backs that up. A woman cannot raise a man to learn how to be a man. Period. A man is going to learn that on his own by trials and tribulations, or a man, he's going to learn from other men, whether it's a coach, a teacher, a father, something. He's going to learn from another man. Period. Because a, a men and women think differently. We're not equal. We deserve equality. We deserve to be treated equally. But we're not equal in how we react to situations and how we view the world, right? We're just not. We're two different beings. And that's super dope. That's so dope that we're so different. We're alike in so many ways, but we're different in some major ways. It's like religion. It's like the Christian religion and Islam religion are similar, but their differences are major differences, right? That's the same with men and women. The differences are there and should be there and should be respected and enjoyed and praised. The way a woman can nurture somebody is completely different from how a man typically can nurture somebody. And I don't meet too many women that are as strong as guys. Are there some? Yeah, I just watched a dope woman. I seen a dope video. A woman deadlifted 600 something pounds. I was like, yeah, get it. I was rooting for her. But there's plenty of dudes that do that too, right? And so it's the beauty of the yin and the yang. So she said, so it's understanding that we're different, and because we're different, can a man raise a daughter to be dope and be be incredible? Yes. Can he treat her? Can he teach her to be a woman? No. Can a woman Raise a son by yes. Can she teach him how to be a man? No. No, she can't because she's not that, and that's okay. That's perfectly acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So now when I go back to what I'm saying, okay, Tawny says, I agree with you to a certain degree. Some men teach boys how to be conceited. Mm, conceited, not conceited. And I understood what you meant. So what is conceited? Like what can Corey, can you give me the actual definition of conceited? Like not what people believe it is? Yeah, the textbook definition.
Um, Conceited describes an individual with an inflated, excessive, or unjustified opinion of their own abilities, appearance, or worth.
Mm.
It is a negative trait characterized by lack of humility, often resulting in condescending behavior that alienates others and harms relationships.
So basically, you're what Tammy, what you're saying is that there's a lot of men that are teaching young boys to put other people down and think highly of themselves. And I would, I don't know if I can co-sign that because a man wouldn't teach a young man that, right? A man wouldn't raise a boy to be a man to do that. We teach them to be confident about themselves, to carry themselves a certain way, to believe in themselves, to believe they're great. Yeah, we should believe that we're great, but I believe everybody should believe they're great, right? There's no reason to there's no reason to put another person down, right? No reason to judge somebody else and be like that. And what I would say is like, are you basing this on the men that you're around? Because those aren't the men that I see. Those aren't the men that I'm around, right? So and then so the ladies are just basically saying they if those aren't the men you're seeing, then that sucks, right? I would I don't know, I don't want to tell you where to go, but maybe church. I don't know. Try a different place. I don't know because I don't see men like that. I'm not around men like that. Now I see boys like that. I mentor young men who are struggling with what you're talking about, but they're raised by women. They don't have men in their lives like that. Hence the reason they're in the places they're in, right? And it's why I spend a lot of time mentoring them because it's to get them to understand a different way of thinking. So it's it's definitely something that men have to take accountability for, but it's it's understanding they're raised by women because men abandon them though, right? I mean, sometimes men left. And you know what? I've never let a man off the hook. It doesn't matter what happened in the relationship, a man should find a way to stick around. In some cases, these men are locked up too. And that sucks because they made the wrong decision and they didn't put their family first. So it's always on men, right? It's always on men to be there for your kids. Find a way. I'm not, oh no. When hey Joey, when did I say it's on women? I don't think my statements were even close to that. Like it's it's 100% on men to be in a man's life. I am saying that my point in saying that is that women cannot raise men to be men. And when it's just a woman in their lives, like the statistics back it up. A lot of times they're getting locked up, right? Now, if the man is trying to be there and going through the court system and doing everything he can, like it is what it is. There are some cases like that, right? But men should be in their kids' life. And so there are not many good men out here in the USA, Brooke says. I would fully disagree. I would fully disagree. I would change where you're looking, right? I would change it where you're looking because I have a great brother in the studio with me right now that does a great job of being a father, and he's raising two great young men. I got people at my gym that are great men that are raising children, right? I have some great young men coming up that I'm looking forward to seeing them get married and raise kids. I see tons of men in the community. I've had men on this podcast that are doing great in their lives. And um, wait a minute, hold up. Brooke just said I'm a Trump MAGA Andrew Tate guy, I'm pretty sure. Manosphere. BS, she says. Because I'm sitting here saying that men should be responsible for themselves? I think it's great when men. So, what's your viewpoint on men who step up to the plate when the children's fathers didn't? I think that's being a great man. Isn't that why I'm mentoring? That like I mentor kids for that reason. I want some. I don't care who the man is. A man needs to be in someone's life. That's why you should go out and mentor. That's why um that you should go out and find young men and mentor them. Figure out a way to be there for other young men once you've established yourself in something. I believe that if you are with a woman and she's got kids, you damn well better step up and be a father. The moment you decide to be with a woman that's already got kids, you are deciding to be a father. Period. I'm saying there's a lot of great men because there are. There just are. Like, I don't go by what the media is projecting. I go by what my eyes are seeing and the men I choose to be around, right? Are there a lot of men that act like boys? So to me, they're not even um they're not even men, they're boys. There's plenty of boys who are adults, right? Which is what I'm talking about on this podcast. Like, if you're, and so Brooke, I would say if you're not around great men, I would ask, why? Why are you like find a different group of men to be around? It's not that hard. Like, I don't hang out with boys, right? I don't hang out with adult boys. My brothers are good men, raising their families, being there for their kids, right? I wouldn't have that kind of guy amongst my group of people. I just wouldn't. If you're not taking care of your family, I don't want to be around you. We have nothing to talk about. Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna say something. Right? That's what men do. We hold each other accountable. Many men are saying what I'm saying. So many men are saying there's not a lot of good men out there. It, I don't know. It's not who I'm around. And so it's it would be to sit here and say that there aren't a lot of good men. Because that if I said there aren't a lot of great women, how would that sound? Right? How would that sound? Would that be true? That's not my place. Because I do believe there's a lot of great women. I believe there's some amazing women out there. Okay, now I see it. It's like the movie Holes. I don't know what that movie is. So it's the whole point of what I'm talking about though is under like, and this would help so many boys. if they bother to accept that monster and accept their ego for what it is. Whatever got programmed from the ages of 2 to 7, if they just accept that's their that's that's them reacting and them trying to protect themselves. If they accept what that is, they can then build upon that and build better programming so they don't react. So they could take better control of themselves, right? And it's understanding that, okay, Tawny said, how do they do that without it defining who they are? Because it is who they are. That's the thing. They have to accept that's who that is. Like I talked about it a little like early on in the podcast. Like I put a name on it because I was a fighter, right? I coach fighters now. And I put a name on it. Even before I was fighting, I put a name on what this generation calls trauma or that inner child, right? It's Shah. That's my protection. That's my when it gets triggered, it comes out, right? So once I learned how to truly accept that side of me, then I can recognize when I'm getting quote unquote triggered, when I'm feeling attacked, when I feel that defense mechanism come out, I can breathe through it, be patient, keep my brain functioning instead of it freezing, and then I'm just reacting to everything. You have to accept who you are first. Then that's your foundation, that's your bottom layer, right? Then you can put in programs, what I call filters, to help you handle it like an adult, right? So before I get defensive, before I lose my shit, before I start wiling out and say something that I don't mean in that moment, I can breathe, I can process. I can either say, hey, we shouldn't have this conversation right now. Let's come back. I can show emotional intelligence, right? I can show empathy because I am doing everything I can to keep my triggers under control because my triggers are my triggers, right? There's nothing wrong, as I tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with your feelings. You can feel upset, you can feel sad, you can feel this, you can feel that, but the actions you take based off those feelings is what'll mess you up. So if you're mad and you raise your voice at somebody, no reason to raise your voice. Calm down. If you decide to throw a tantrum and hit someone or hit a wall or hit something or throw something, why are you wilding out? Like, those are your actions. Your actions can be wrong. Your actions can be bad, but that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you a horrible person. That doesn't make you an evil person. You have to learn how to control it so then you can control what actions you take and give yourself options instead of being controlled by it. Now I look at this. Whoa. Okay, now how do they do that without a define? Okay, I answer that. Who doesn't have trauma sometimes? It's just drama. Okay, I tried to help my ex accept his trauma, but he wouldn't do it. And that's the shitty part. We can't somebody else can't do it for us. We have to do it, right? Just like an addict. Like if you're an addict, you're forever an alcoholic. You're forever a drug addict. You're forever that. You are constantly battling that. Well, I am always going to have trauma, right? This is what this generation calls it. I'm always going to have things from my past. I'm going to always have um stuff from being beaten as a kid, being called racial slurs by my stepfather, being raped, right? I'm always going to have that trauma. I'm always going to have certain triggers. But then it's on me to control how I react, right? It's on me to control what I do. So I gotta, and once I accept it, then now I can be aware of it. And when I'm aware of it, I can notice the reaction that I'm having to it, right? And now I can take control of it. I can name my feelings now instead of just reacting, right, to my me being sad or my reaction to being fearful because somebody's attacking me. You know what I'm saying? Like I can, and instead of attacking back with my words or my attitude, I can now put words on it and put and name those feelings, and my reaction is different, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like I gave my other side a name. I gave it like it's Shah, right? So and I talk to myself like geniuses talk to themselves. Like that's a quote. Only geniuses talk to themselves. So it's like when when you have when you have the ability to talk to yourself, you can then love yourself, tell yourself that you love yourself. You can forgive yourself. You can ask God for forgiveness then. You can accept what you've done. You can give apologies. And you can't be upset if the other person doesn't forgive you. You could just apologize, right? Just apologize. Accept what you've done and then learn from it and move on. Exactly. You got to exactly what CP3 is saying. Like you got to work those steps so you can deal with it, right? The When you learn how to channel it, right? When you learn how to channel your anger and your pain and your ego into discipline, drive and standards, then the monster becomes one of your greatest weapons. And you learn how to aim it. That's why when people are working out, they zone in so hard. When people are training for a fight, they zone in so much. When they're playing basketball, that's why you would see Kobe zoned in so much. You would see Jordan zoned in. You see these people do incredible things because they're so zoned in. They're using that to be disciplined in their life. They're using that to find drive in their life and keep them pushing forward. It's setting a certain standard in their life. And so you can become a great business owner. You can, um, yeah, no, I knew who it was. I wasn't going to give your name, but since you put it out there, yeah, Eugene. So like it's channeling something for us. And that's all we need. You didn't, you didn't choose what built you. God did, right? If you believe in God, then you got to believe that he put you on the path that you're on, right? So whatever affected you, whatever smacked you upside your head, whatever caused that trauma or whatever word you want to use, it was given to you. That's a blessing. Be grateful for it because now it's up to you to learn how to use it. God gave you these tools, learn how to use them. Because when you learn how to use them, you are you are you are choosing every single day to control it instead of it controlling you. You're driving your car. It's not driving you. You get what I'm saying? Like that that control is major because it it allows you to build success. It allows you to become something more. It's a tool that you can use because you're controlling it and you control you every day. It's my constant message. Like you are in control of you. And as a man, we have the capabilities of being so violent. We have to control. We have to control that side of ourselves. And we need a place to send it to. You feel what I'm saying? Man, this turned into a interesting podcast. Like I thought I was losing control of it. Like they were going in on men, and she said, "I'm a Andrew Tate, m- Donald Trump." I'm like, man, what? Because I'm talking about men? What? Like, you do you want me to talk about women? Like, what? Do I think there's some great men out there? Yes. Do I think men are bad? No. Why do and like e- why would you want to why do you want to continue with the message that men are bad? Why continue beating men down? How is that going to win you anything? How is that going to get us anywhere? Imagine if if because I seen one woman, right, as an adult entertainer, I just looked at all women that way. Is that going to make women better or worse? You know what I'm saying? Like common sense here, people.
It's hard to find. I mean, like I said before, good men be out the way, and so it's not something that you're just gonna trip upon, and or if I go to the club or I go here, that I'm just gonna keep bumping into them. The good men I know, uh, like I said, have purpose, know what, and have goals and things that they're trying to obtain. Whether they happen to be with a partner or not, they still moving in a direction and moving forward, which occupies their time where they ain't just out here where you can just bump into them anywhere.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm saying good men are perfect.
No.
No, no one's perfect. Like everybody messes up. I'm not saying that. What like it's crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. Like let's just keep beating men down. Let's just keep saying there's no great men out there.
Well, if you come across one, you won't even know, won't even be able to find him. He
Yeah.
could be right in front of your face, but because you think that way,
Yeah.
you
Like
wouldn't even know that he's sitting right in front of you or next to you.
it's so mind blowing. Like, and who is it for you to judge? Where do you get like where do people get off judging? Like that's so mind blowing to me. Like let's judge. Let's judge all these men, right? What? What? That's not my place. Like why should I add a job to my labor? Why should I add another job to all the things that I do that I have no control over? I'm going to start judging people and take that job from the Almighty. Could you imagine that? Let me take the job from the Almighty. You know what? My plate is full with just being the best person I could be because that's what I should be because I was given this gift to be alive right now. I'm going to squander it by judging others? There's no great men out there. That's funny.
If you focus and have direction,
Yeah.
you don't have time for that.
And and it's also sad. It's sad if you believe there's no great men out there. It's sad if you believe there's no great women out there.
Well, she did say two good men. Was it Barack Obama and Gavin Newsom?
So you got to be the president to be a great man?
I think I can find that.
Yeah, she said I seen it.
You see this
I
song?
seen it. I seen it. So you got to be a president to be considered great. Like the thing is that it's not like he was a stay-at-home dad.
Michelle will tell you that Barack ain't perfect.
Yeah. He would say he's not perfect. You just didn't hear any like side piece stories.
At least from Barack. I've heard
Yeah. So it's like, what are we doing, yo? Like, cool out on all the judgment. What up? It's just, I don't know, man. If you can't find any great men, then what I would do is work on yourself a little bit more so that you can attract that energy. How am I this evening? I'm great. How about you, Nikki?
You should ask Nikki that question. Are there any great?
Nikki, do you think there's great men out there? You're welcome. Wonder what she's gonna say. Doon 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 doon
She
doon
agrees, and
doon
maybe the
doon doon
TikTok is
doon.
not that.
Far and few between, but yes, I believe so. Damn. What do you consider a great man? That's a good question. What do you
It's a real
consider a
question.
great? What do you consider a great man, Nikki?
Far and few in between, but yes, I believe. That statement almost makes me feel like it's like belief in a unicorn or something. Like, yeah, I believe it exists. I've never seen one, but I believe that it.
Like, what's funny is like, depending on what she says, like what she believes a great man is: strong, kind, considerate, and confident.
I don't know a bunch of them people.
What is the strong in what way? Kind in what way?
Specifics are important.
Considerate in what way? Confident in what way? I mean, granted, I'm kind. I open the door for people. I'm that would like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. So I'm considerate. I'm strong. I believe I'm strong. I walk with my held up high. But then at the same time, some people might say needs to walk with a purpose. So he needs a purpose. So you're basically saying a great man is somebody with a purpose in their life. There's lots of men like that. The thing is, like when I'm talking and when I'm doing things, I've been told that I'm egotistical. It's like, why? Because I believe in myself. I don't put anybody else down. I just believe highly of myself. I believe in what I'm doing. I don't have time to put other people down.
But then somebody said earlier saying that's arrogant.
Yeah. They conceited.
Conceited, excuse me.
But in order to be conceited, I have to believe in myself without putting any work in, and I got to put other people down.
Confident man says it all. Conceited.
Yeah. That's why I love Dion. Boy, that's a bad man right there.
Yeah, but they're gonna say he's not a good man.
Why is he not a good man?
Obviously not a good man.
Look at his boys.
Look at all the hate he gets.
Yeah, because they don't like that's like LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
Like all two of his sons made it to the NBA and his other son is doing well. Like
All the cusp. D League played
no drama, no major scandals. All got money, all can take care of their families. He did a good job, but because he was so outspoken. Like, I don't know. Hopefully, I helped some of y'all brothers out, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Nikki, thank you for sending that heart. Love you, girl. Thank you. Appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Hit it all up, yo. Make sure you follow. The Allison Armstrong clips are coming out. The podcast will be dropping this week. It's such a big episode. Next week, Dwayne Ludwig will be starting to roll out. Like we're hitting you over the head with some two dope interviews. So make sure you check them out, yo. Like they drop so much knowledge. It's crazy. And Allison Armstrong has been studying men for 30 something years. The things she has to say will make people go, what the? So make sure you check out those clips. I appreciate y'all all, man. Have a blessed day. DM me. Let me know what y'all think. Hit me with questions. Let's keep it rolling. You control you. We out, baby. Celsius. All right, all right, all right.